If you play rec or open play, this has happened to you. You're the player at the non-volley zone line up here. Your partner receives serve, returns a serve, and stays back. In this video, we're going to tell you what to do when your partner is not coming up to the non-volley zone line after they return serve. Let's get into it.
All aboard!
What I'm going to explain to you in this video is in response to a comment or a question that was asked in a comment to a video we did previously about moving together up to the non-volley zone line on the serve team. I'll link to that other video above if you want to check it out. But remember that if you have a question about pickleball, put it in the comments, and who knows, we may do a video answering that question too. All right, let's talk about what you should do as this player here if your partner is not moving up after returning serve. Now, let's frame it out before we get into what you should do. Normally in a pickleball game, after the serve has been hit and the ball returned back on the return of serve, the court should look like this. So this is how the court should look when the third shot's being hit. So the serve and return have happened. This is how the court should look. A lot of times in rec play or open play, what you'll find is you'll find a court that looks like this when the third shot's being hit. This clearly is not optimal, is not the correct way to play the game. And what's going to happen is if this player continually does not get up to the non-volley zone line after he or she returns serve, what's going to happen is the team in blue, if they know what they're doing at all, are going to win the game. There's simply no way for this team to win if this player does not get up to the non-volley zone line after hitting their return of serve. Not making it up to the non-volley zone line after return of serve is probably one of the top 3 or 4 errors that you can make as a pickleball player in terms of hampering your team's ability to win the game. And in fact, that's one of the first things that we tackle inside VIPickleball. When players follow the success path inside VIPickleball, one of the first things that we tackle is making sure that the player's getting up to the non-volley zone line. It's that important of a concept. Let me explain to you why it's so important for this player to move up to the non-volley zone line after the return of serve. If this player stays back, what happens is this team, now the blue team, is allowed to hit the third shot over here, move up like this, and then this team, the rally is going to be played like this. The problem with this positioning is that the blue team can score points. So if the blue team wins the rally, it can score a point. The yellow team, the team that you're on up here, can't score a point. So what you're doing is you're basically giving the advantage to the blue team. In this situation, the blue team clearly has an advantage in this rally right now, and they can score points. If you play like this, you simply cannot win a game against a team like the blue team here that knows what they're doing and is going to take that line and punish the returner for not moving up. So the question then is, what can you do if you're this player? So you're the player up at the non-volley zone line, again, in a rec game or an open kind of play game, not with a regular partner, where your partner in that game isn't coming up to the non-volley zone line after they return serve. What we recommend in this situation is for you to stand back at the baseline with your partner. If you do this, what will happen is your partner probably look at you kind of funny and say, well, why are you standing back at the baseline? Why don't you stand up here? The response is, I will go wherever you want to go. In other words, if you, so this is me playing up here. If you want to move up with me after you return serve, I'm more than happy to play up here. I'd like to play up here if possible, but that means that you come up with me. If you want to play from back here, then what I'm going to do as your partner is I'm going to play from back here. And there's 2 reasons why you're going to play from back here instead of just standing up here the whole time if your partner is going to stay back on the return of serve. Number 1 is, as I mentioned earlier, what's going to happen is this team is going to move up like this. So now this is the look of the court. What will happen here invariably, the way this rally is going to end, is this team, if an error isn't made before that, what's going to happen is this team is going to slam the ball over here. So this team is going to take the ball whenever they get a pop-up, and they're going to slam it at you. So you're going to have to eat the ball if your partner wants to play back while you're playing up. We call this, and when we teach it more in detail in the VIPickleball, we refer to this as the islands of despair, so one up, one back. We don't have time in this video to get into the details of why this is the worst possible formation to play in, but trust me, this is the worst possible formation to play in, and what will end up happening is, since you're the player up front, eventually you're going to eat the ball, something that I don't like to do, and I'm sure you don't like to do either. The second reason why I'm going to stay back here is because the game is lost. If my partner is not going to move up to the non-volley zone line, more than likely this game is lost. It is very difficult to play against a team that knows anything about pickleball with a returner that doesn't come in. So what I want to do in that situation as a player is I want to work on my game. Right? I'm not trying to win this game now. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work on my game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play back here, and I'm going to work on third shots. I'm going to work on maybe lobs. I'm going to work on other techniques that I want to work on to improve my game without really worrying about trying to win this game, because there's really no way to win this game if the blue team is allowed to move up and we're playing like this. As I mentioned earlier, this is an open or rec play concept where you would basically play back here if this player is not going to come in with you. If you're playing with a partner who you play with regularly, you're comfortable playing with, you can express to your partner the idea that your partner may get up the non-volley zone line, because this is definitely going to be a better formation than this when you're on the return side. But I would rather, if I'm this player, I would rather play like this than play like this and just basically wait for this team to take this line and then eventually beam me with a ball. I also don't get the opportunity to work on any part of my game. So if you're stuck in a situation where this player simply refuses to move in after the return or serve, consider playing like this. As I mentioned earlier, this video was a result of a question asked by another player to another video that we did. So if you have a question about pickleball, something that's rattling around your brain, you want to know the answer to, put it in the comments. We may answer it in a video, we may answer it in a reply, but we'll do our best to get you an answer to the questions that you have. If you want to keep on learning about pickleball, I'll link to a playlist here that you can check out, and you can keep on your journey about learning about pickleball. If you like the video, consider subscribing, hit the like, and share it with your friends. And when you're ready, check us out at VIPickleball. It's at wearepickleball.com. It's a step-by-step way to improve and become the best pickleball player that you can be. Be well out there.